Hello, ORLO students. My name is Mr. Black. I'm the principal at Martin Middle School, and I'm very excited to be a part of your reading week. Even though we can't be together, I'm glad I was asked to make this video for you and do a read aloud for one of my favorite books. This book's called Alexander in the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Hopefully nobody's having any days like that. And I can tell you, when you're at Martin Middle School, we don't have days like that. Every day's great. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. You can see our friend Alexander's not having a good day. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Aubrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's no fun being squished in a car, I can tell you that. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said, I sang too loud. At counting time, she said, I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Poor Alexander. Having a tough day on the way to school, and now a tough day at school. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream falls off the cone and lands in Australia. Alexander is not happy. He's having arguments with his friend and hoping their ice cream goes to Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in the dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I'm sure we've all had days like this at school where things just weren't going right. Happens to all of us. That's what it was because after school my mom took all of us to the dentist and Dr. Field found a cavity just in me. Come back next week, I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. He's not even having any luck at the dentist office. Poor Alexander. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot while we were waiting for my mom to get the car. Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. Then I started crying. Because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody, and no one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose the white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose the red ones with white stripes. I chose the blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, "We're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them." Boy, he is not having a good day at all. Even when he wants to get the shoes he likes, they're not available. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as I could, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, "Please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day." Alexander's dad doesn't look too happy right now. Seems like he had some trouble at Dad's office. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Nothing's going right for this guy today. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain. I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took the back pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cats want to sleep with Anthony and not with me. It's been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Well, now it's time for Alexander to go to bed, and there's still things not going his way. My mom said sometimes it's like that, even in Australia. The end. So I want to thank you for listening to the story. Once again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. As a principal of Martin Middle School, it's exciting because I know ORLO students come to Martin when they leave 5th grade and come into our school. We have a wonderful school with many students from ORLO Avenue School. So I look forward to meeting you soon. For the time being, make sure you're staying healthy and staying safe and staying inside and taking care of your families and taking care of yourselves. Doing everything you do to be safe and healthy. That's all we can do right now. Work hard in school, and I look forward to seeing you at Martin Middle School. If you need anything, you can always email me.